Hello everyone, good afternoon. This is Liv from Kalkine TV studio, live in Sydney, and you're watching the early trades. Australian shares seesawed on Tuesday. Losses in technology and financial stocks outweighed gains in the mining sector as iron ore prices and gold prices firmed. The S&P ASX 200 index fell 0.27% to 7,026.5 points during early trades. The top percentage gainer on the benchmark was Bingo Industries Limited, up 6.7% after the waste management firm agreed to be bought by Macquarie Group for 2.3 billion Australian dollars. Bingo shares were also the most heavily traded shares by volume. Bingo hit a more than 2-month high on takeover by Macquarie. Shares of the waste management firm jumped to $3.43 in early deals, their highest since February of last year. Bingo has agreed to be acquired by funds managed by Macquarie Group for $2.3 billion. Bingo said that it has signed a scheme implementation deed with Recycle and Resource Operations, entity owned by Macquarie, for the acquisition of all the issued shares in Bingo pursuant to a scheme of arrangement. Shares of Australian betting firm Tabcorp Holdings rose nearly 4% after UK's Entain proposed a buyout of its wagering and media arm. Betting firm Tabcorp eyes their best day in over 2 months on a higher bid for its wagering and media arm. Tabcorp says Britain's Entain approached the company with a $3.5 billion proposal to buy its wagering and media business. The top percentage losers on the benchmark were Mesoblast Limited, down 3.19%, followed by Adbri Limited, losing 2.69%. Among sectors, financial stocks fell 4.4%, led by Zipco Limited, down 2.22%, and that was 0.44%. That was losing 1.75% from AMP as well. Technology stocks fell 0.12%, led by Appen Limited, down 0.97%, and Afterpay Limited, losing 0.47%. Mining stocks rose 0.43%, led by Piedmont Lithium, up 6.82%, while gold stocks rose Gold stocks rose 0.21%. The energy index fell 0.23%, led by Origin Energy, down 1.2%, and Beach Energy Limited, losing 0.91%. Now we'll look at some of the other major newsmakers in the Australian share market. Crown Resorts Limited announced that the New South Wales Independent Liquor and Gaming Authority has granted new liquor licences to Crown Sydney Property. This will allow for the continued service of alcohol in non-gaming areas of Crown Sydney beyond the expiry of the current liquor licences. The new liquor licences have been granted from the 1st of May 2021 to the 31st of October this year. BlueScope said that it expected the underlying earnings before interest and tax EBIT for the second half of the financial year 2021 between $1 billion to $1.08 billion. The company's earlier guidance was between $750 million to $830 million Australian dollars. Newly listed Universal Stores reported robust sales growth for the 6th consecutive year with a strong gross profit result. The underlying EBIT increased 69.4% to $31.5 million, while statutory NPAT rose 47.7% to $15.8 million. Spectre Limited announced that it has entered into a binding agreement for a loan facility worth $1.5 million Australian dollars with EPG Capital, its largest shareholder. Universal Stores said that its third quarter headline sales climbed 39.6% and comparative sales were up 37.3%. Viva Energy said that first quarter group sales declined 17% to 3,030 million litres. SomnoMed announced that its business has begun to recover from the negative impacts of the coronavirus pandemic. The company's March quarter sales rose 1% on the prior corresponding quarter. Bailador Technology Investments is in a trading halt pending an announcement regarding a proposed equity raising transaction. South32 said that improvement in commodity prices has supported a strong surge in its net cash position during the March quarter. The US stock market benchmark indexes S&P 500 and Nasdaq Composite Index ended higher on Monday, marking new closing records ahead of the major earnings. S&P 500 gained 7 points and the tech-savvy Nasdaq surged 122 points. However, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 62 points. The decline in consumer and energy stocks offset growth in the financials and industrial stocks on the index. The S&P 500 rallied 0.18% to 4,187.62. Nasdaq Composite Index rose 0.87% to 14,138.78. The Dow Jones was down 0.18% to 33,981.57. The small cap Russell 2000 grew 1.15% to 2,298.01, and Tesla shares rose 1.21% on Monday ahead of its earnings. The US electric car maker is scheduled to report its first quarter earnings today after the market close. Major technology companies including Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, Facebook and Qualcomm will also report their first quarter results this week. The start to the week on Wall Street was slightly positive, but investors refrained from taking on large positions ahead of a two-day meeting of the Federal Reserve that's beginning today, and the impending release of US quarterly GDP data. The dollar index fell 0.025 points or 0.03% to 90.834. Government bond yields rose as investors are dumping safer assets. Yields on the 10-year US Treasury benchmark notes saw an uptick of 0.35% to 1.5684%. The cryptocurrencies space had witnessed selling pressure since mid-April. Last week, Bitcoin had fallen almost a fifth from its all-time high hit earlier this month. However, on Monday, the bellwether of the crypto space rose by 10.5% on reports that JP Morgan is planning to offer a managed Bitcoin fund. All right, that's all for now. Stay tuned with Kalkine TV for more Market Live updates. We will be back with more news on markets, economy and diverse themes